Hello student, myself Salil. Today I will teach you force and law of motion. This chapter is very interesting. We will know force and law of motion. What is force? It is the force that enables us to do any work or do anything. Either we push and pull the object, therefore push and pull is called force. Now, force and law of motion. The chapter is based on main 2 points, force and law of motion. The force and law of motion read by Newton. Now, I am explained by the first point, force. The symbol F. The formula of force F is equal to ma, where F is mass and A acceleration. F is equal to ma. The force is directly proportional mass and acceleration. Now, the unit of force Newton. Its symbol is capital N. The force are two types: balanced force and unbalanced force. Now, I am explaining types of force. First is balanced force, and second unbalanced force. Now, law of motion. Law of motion read by Newton. Then we got also Newton's law of motion. Newton law of motion. Newton's law of motion, there are three types. Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion. Now, Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion. Types of Newton's law of motion. Newton's law of motion. First, Newton's first law of motion. Newton's law of motion. And second, Newton's law of motion. And third, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's first law of motion depends on mainly 2 points. Newton's first law of motion is based on main 2 points. First, inertia, and second, mass. First law of motion depends on inertia and mass. Now, Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion based on 2 point force force and momentum. Force and second momentum. The force formula F is equal to ma and momentum symbol is P is equal to mv. Now, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion is based on 2 points. First, law of conservation of momentum. And second point, action and reaction. Action, reaction. I will repeat. Chapter is force and law of motion. Force and law of motion we will know in 2 points. Force and Newton's law of motion. Force is directly proportional to mass and acceleration. Now, formula is force. F is equal to ma, where m is mass and acceleration a. Now, unit of force. The unit of force is Newton. The symbol of Newton, capital N. Now, the force, there are 2 types. Force, and first balanced force and second unbalanced force. First topic, force, balanced force, unbalanced force will know in this chapter. Now, second point, Newton's law of motion. We will know in Newton's law of motion. Now, there are 3 types. Newton's first law of motion. First, Newton's first law of motion. Second, Newton's second law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. Newton's law of motion, there are 3 types. Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's law of motion is based on mainly some points. Newton's first law of motion based on inertia and mass. Newton's first law of motion is based on inertia and motion. Now, second, Newton's second law of motion is based on mainly force and momentum. Force m is equal to ma and momentum p is equal to mv, where m is mass, v velocity. Now, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion is based on mainly 2 points. First, law of conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum. Newton's third law of motion is based on first point, law of conservation of momentum, and second, action reaction. Now, note this.
Hello students, welcome in the online class of biology. After this vacations, I am going to start a new chapter which is diversity in living organisms. So as you all know that Earth is crowded with different of organisms. In this Earth, some organisms are small as that they cannot be seen from our naked eyes, whereas other organisms are large that they can be easily seen with the help of our naked eyes. And all these organisms are dependent on each other. Why? For their requirements like requirement of food, requirement of shelter, requirement of fuels, and so on. And when we want to categorize these organisms, the first category that we divide, that some organisms provide us company, amusement, aesthetic pleasure and joy, whereas other organisms give us pain, irritation and even cause death. So now it is very important to distinguish between these organisms which provide us company, amusement and others which provide us pain and even cause death. So identification of useful organisms and harmful organisms is very important because it is the basic need of man. Now let's come to the second point, that what is biodiversity. So huge variety of living organisms present on earth constitute biodiversity. As we all know that there are different kinds of organisms found in this earth. All organisms are not same. So these variation, this huge variety is considered as biodiversity of the earth. Now our biodiversity contains about 1.7 million species. Every year 1500 new species are identified and this increases the biodiversity of the earth. The places like oceans, tropical rainforests consist of huge biodiversity, and all species are the result of about 3.5 billion years of evolution. And these evolutions, some species are evolved and some species are extinct during this period, and the species which are extinct leaving their evidences as fossils. Now, the question is, what is classification and what is the need of classification? So, due to huge biodiversity, a study of each and every organism is not possible because there is a huge biodiversity in this earth. Therefore, we should categorize these organisms. So, we categorize these organisms on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. For example, there is a group of around 100 organisms. Now, it is not possible for any one of us that we should study every 100 organism. So, if we know basic characters of all these 100 organisms, we can have an idea of all organisms of this group. Another example of this classification's need is library. If we want to find some book in library and they are set in haphazard way, so it is not possible for us to get any of the book easily. But if we categorize books in categories, that these are the books of class 10, these are the books of class 11, these are books of different subjects, so we can easily pick up the book of our requirement. Similarly, biological classification helps us to identify and recognize organisms on the basis of their characters. And the science of classification, in which we study about classification, is known as taxonomy. And as you know that father of taxonomy is Carolus Linnaeus. So students, वेकेशन के बाद हम लोग न्यू चैप्टर स्टार्ट किया, डाइवर्सिटी इन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स। सबसे पहली बात, जैसे कि आप सबको पता है कि अर्थ में बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिज्म प्रेजेंट हैं। ये ऑर्गेनिज्म स्मॉल भी है एंड ये ऑर्गेनिज्म लार्ज भी है। अगर हम स्मॉल की बात करें तो अगर हम वायरसेस की बात करें, एज स्मॉलेस्ट कि हम इनको अपनी आईज से देख भी नहीं सकते, इनको देखने के लिए हमें माइक्रोस्कोप की हेल्प लेनी पड़ती है। एंड अदर साइड पे लार्ज ऑर्गेनिज्म है जिनको हम इजीली अपनी आईज से देख सकते हैं। ये सारे ऑर्गेनिज्म अपनी जरूरत के लिए, अपने रिक्वायरमेंट्स के लिए एक दूसरे पे डिपेंडेंट होते हैं। किस लिए? फूड के लिए डिपेंडेंट होते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लायन अपने फूड के लिए गोट पे डिपेंडेंट है या किसी भी हर्बीवोर ऑर्गेनिज्म पे डिपेंडेंट है। अगर ये स्पेशीज वहां पे नहीं होंगी तो उसको अपना फूड इजीली प्रोवाइड नहीं हो पाएगा। या फिर अगर हम गोट की बात करें, वो अपने फूड के लिए प्लांट पे डिपेंडेंट है। अगर प्लांट नहीं होगा तो गोट को इजीली फूड प्रोवाइड नहीं हो पाएगा। तो बात ये कि सारे ऑर्गेनिजम्स एक दूसरे पे डिपेंडेंट होते हैं अपनी जरूरतों के लिए। अगर हम कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड करना चाहें तो सबसे पहले कैटेगरीज हम डिवाइड कर सकते हुए कि कुछ ऑर्गेनिज्म हमारे लिए यूजफुल होते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि वो हमें कंपनी प्रोवाइड करते हैं, हमें अम्यूजमेंट दैट मींस एंटरटेनमेंट प्रोवाइड करते हैं, एस्थेटिक प्लेजर दैट मीन रिलीजियस व्यूज है वो हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, या फिर हमें जॉय खुशी प्रोवाइड करते हैं। उसी जगह दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म से जो जस्ट ऑपोजिट है, वो हमें पेन देते हैं, इरिटेशन देते हैं, या कई बार हमारी डेथ भी ऑर्गेनिज्म की वजह से कॉज हो सकती है। बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है कि हम यूजफुल ऑर्गेनिज्म और हार्मफुल ऑर्गेनिज्म के बीच में आइडेंटिफिकेशन करें। हमें पता होना चाहिए कि कौन से ऑर्गेनिजम्स हमारे लिए यूजफुल है एंड कौन से ऑर्गेनिजम्स हमारे लिए हार्मफुल है। ये यूजफुल एंड हार्मफुल के बीच में आइडेंटिफाई करना ह्यूमंस के लिए एक बेसिक नीड हो गया, क्योंकि अगर ये चीज पता नहीं होगी तो हम अपने लिए सही और गलत का डिसीजन नहीं ले पाएंगे। अब अगर हम बात करें बायोडाइवर्सिटी की, बायोडाइवर्सिटी क्या होता है? जो अर्थ पे बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिजम्स एक साथ प्रेजेंट है, ये ऑर्गेनिजम्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं अर्थ की बायोडाइवर्सिटी को। अगर नंबर्स में बात करें तो अब तक मोस्टली 1.7 मिलियन स्पेशीज आइडेंटिफाइड हो चुकी हैं और हर साल इसमें इंक्रीमेंट होता है। अराउंड 1500 न्यू स्पेशीज हर साल जो है इंक्रीज होती चली जाती हैं। अगर ह्यूज बायोडाइवर्सिटी की बात करें कि सबसे ज्यादा ऑर्गेनिजम्स कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होते हैं तो ओशन से या फिर ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट है जहाँ पे ऑर्गेनिजम्स बहुत ह्यूज अमाउंट में प्रेजेंट होते हैं। इससे भी बड़ी बात है कि और ऑर्गेनिज्म जो ये हमें 1.7 बिलियन का पता चला, इसका हमें पता चला 3.5 बिलियन ईयर्स ऑफ इवोल्यूशन से। इवोल्यूशन क्या होता है कि शुरू से अर्थ पे ह्यूमन बींग्स प्रेजेंट नहीं थे, धीरे धीरे इवॉल्व होके एक न्यू स्पेशीज आई और ह्यूमन बींग्स आए। ऐसे ही जो इवोल्यूशन है हर एक ऑर्गेनिज्म के लिए प्रेजेंट होता है और 3.5 बिलियन ईयर्स का इवोल्यूशन जब हुआ उसके बाद हमें ये स्पेशीज का आइडेंटिफिकेशन हो पाया। नेक्स्ट है कि इवोल्यूशन से हमें ये भी पता चला कि कुछ ऑर्गेनिज्म तो अभी इवॉल्व होके आए एंड कुछ एक्सटिंक्ट भी हो चुके हैं, मतलब कि कुछ गायब भी हो चुके हैं और उनका हमें पता चलता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ फॉसिल्स। उनके जो रिमेन्स हमें अर्थ में मिलते हैं उससे हम पता कर पाते हैं कि हाँ पहले के टाइम पे ये स्पेशीज भी अर्थ पे प्रेजेंट थी। नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज की क्लासिफिकेशन क्या है और इसकी जरूरत क्या है, हम क्यों ऑर्गेनिज्म को डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज में क्लासिफाई करते हैं। अभी हमने बायोडाइवर्सिटी समझ लिया कि ह्यूज वैरायटी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म हमारे अर्थ पे प्रेजेंट है, बट अब हम इनको क्लासिफाइड करते हैं। क्यों? पहली बात तो जब डाइवर्सिटी बहुत ह्यूज हो जाती है, बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिज्म एक साथ प्रेजेंट हो जाते हैं, तो हर ऑर्गेनिज्म की पर्टिकुलर स्टडी करना पॉसिबल नहीं होता कि हम एक एक ऑर्गेनिज्म की स्टडी कर पाए। दैट इज वाई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि हम इनको कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड कर दें और हम इनको कैटेगराइज करते हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर सिमिलैरिटीज एंड डिससिमिलैरिटीज, कि इसमें क्या चीजें कॉमन है या फिर क्या चीजें कॉमन नहीं है। अगर एग्जाम्पल की बात करें तो आपको 100 ऑर्गेनिजम्स दे दिए जाए अगर, तो आप उनके बारे में स्टडी नहीं कर सकते। बट अगर 100 ऑर्गेनिजम्स को हम एक कैटेगरी में डिवाइड कर दें और उस कैटेगरी के कॉमन कैरेक्टर्स को हम निकाल लें तो हम उन 100 ऑर्गेनिजम्स के कॉमन कैरेक्टर्स की स्टडी इजीली कर सकते हैं। एक और जनरल एग्जाम्पल से अगर हम समझना चाहें, अगर हम लाइब्रेरी में कोई बुक फाइंड करने गए और वो सारी बुक हैफेजेड वे में रखी हुई है, उनका कोई भी क्लासिफिकेशन नहीं है, तो हम वहां से बुक को इजीली पिकअप नहीं कर सकते। बट अगर वहां पे अलग अलग कॉलम्स में डिवाइड करके बुक्स को रखा गया कि ये पर्टिकुलर इस सब्जेक्ट की बुक्स है या फिर ये पर्टिकुलर इस क्लास की बुक है, तो हम अपने डिजायर्ड कैरेक्टर की बुक वहां से इजीली पिकअप कर सकते हैं। इसी वजह से क्लासिफिकेशन इन ऑर्गेनिज्म में बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जब हम पूरे ग्रुप के बारे में इजीली एक साथ स्टडी कर पाए। ये बायोलॉजिकल क्लासिफिकेशन हमें हेल्प करता है डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिज्म को आइडेंटिफाई या फिर उनको रिकॉग्नाइज करने में। अगर हम बात करें साइंस ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन की, वो साइंस की जिसमें हम क्लासिफिकेशन के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, तो दैट साइंस इज नोन एज टेक्सोनॉमी एंड फादर ऑफ टेक्सोनॉमी इज नोन एज कैरोलस लिनेनियस।
Hello student, good morning. Myself Mukul Kumar. I am your computer teacher. Today we discuss a new chapter, computer introduction. Computer introduction. Computer one makes with a compute. What the means of compute? Compute means करना. So the computer here करना करने वाला. Firstly we discuss the full form of the computer. What is the full form? Computer makes with the C-O-M-P-U-T-E and R. So C is a common, O is a operating, M is a machine, C-O-M common operating machine, P that is the purpose. So we known as a RPG. Used for training and educational research or resources. So the full form of the computer is common operating machine purposely used for training and educational research or resources. Now we discuss the definition of the computer. Computer is an electronic device that accepts the raw facts, figures, and process them and produce the output through the many types of output devices like printer, monitor. Now we discuss the basic element of the computer. What the basic element of computer? Basic element of the computer is a first is a hardware, second software, third data, and fourth users. Firstly, we discuss the what is hardware. Hardware is a physical component, a physical electronic part of the computer that is keyboard, mouse, CPU, processor, fan, etc. are called a hardware. Software is the set of programs, that is the set of instructions that decide the what the work, how to the work, how to process any types of inputs, we have process, we have work. And the data are the terms which are given by the users, and CPU produce the data and producing as a data as a form of output, yeah, resultant data. Users are the terms that human who works on the computer, who operate the computer. So users are characterized many terms like a simple user or admin. Simple user are those users who are simply used for printing reports, online work, and many terms. And the admin who set all the computer instructions according to the use, according to the needs. Next topic is basic operation of computer. In the computer system, basically, three operations perform: input, process, and output. But in three terms, one step also performing by the computer, that is the storing. First operation is input, and computer takes the input from the users through the any input device like keyboard, mouse, scanner like pen. After the accepting the data, CPU processes this data through the ALU, CU. When data process or input, the computer store this data in temporarily in the storing devices like RAM or ROM. After the process, the data is stored also in a storage device RAM or ROM. If we want to store in a permanent nature, then we store in a hard disk or floppy disk in a permanent nature. After the process, computer system provides the outputs through the any output devices like printer or monitor. So the input devices is a keyboard, mouse, etc. Process is a CPU and output device is a printer and monitor. This is the basic operation of the computer. Now we discuss the classification of data. How many types of data are performed in a computer system? In the computer system, mainly three types of data are performed. First is input data. Input data. Input data are those data which are provided by the user for the process or storing in the temporary way or permanent way through the any input device, which can be keyboard, mouse, joystick, scanner, light pen, etc. So first is the classification of data, that is input data, which data those are given by the users through the any type of input devices. The second classification, that is second term, is a process data. Process data are those data which is processed by the CPU. CPU, that is the central processing unit. CPU processes the any types of data in a manner of calculation, manipulation, arithmetic, logically, any type of performance or operations performed by the CPU. After the process, computer produces the output. So third classification of data is a output data. Output data is a resultant data that is produced by the CPU after the processing, after the calculation. These data are produced by the CPU through the any type of output devices like monitor, printer, etc. So the input data, process data and output data, these three types of data are the classification of the information. And the last is a information. It's also a classification in terms of the data, because information is a data that is a meaningful data of the computer. It's a meaningful data of the computer known as information. Now we discuss the characteristic of computer. Characteristic of computer. There are many characteristics of computer according to its ability, reliability, and many terms. Some characteristic of computer. First is a speed. First main characteristic of a computer is a main importance, very important characteristic of computer, that is the speed. Why? Because computer can work, can doing any work in very high speed. This speed measured in MIPS. MIPS, that means the million instruction per second. Million instructions per second. What the means of million instructions per second? computer can perform million instructions in a 1 second. Second characteristic of the computer, that is accuracy. It's also a main characteristic of the computer because computer produce the resultant data in very accurate form. Its work in the GIG, that means the garbage in and garbage out. What means of garbage? Garbage data are those data which are not used for the computer or human. So the means of the GIGO, garbage in and garbage out. If the user produce or given the errorful data, so the computer also provide the errorful data. If user provide the meaningful data and accurate data, then computer also provide the without error. That means the error-free output or resultant data. That is the known as GIGO types. Third characteristic is a versatility. What means of versatility? Versatility is a term where able to performing many types of tasks in a same time. So we can also call computer is a versatile because computer is able to performing many types of tasks like printing report, listening music, watching movie, playing video games, and many things in a same time. So computer is a versatile. Next characteristic is a storage capacity. Computer can store a large amount of data in its storage devices like hard disks, floppy disks, and many devices are used for storage devices. When any user store the data in the storage devices, he can access these data in the long term after many years in same way in an accurate way. So we can say storage capacity is a main characteristic of the computer. Next is a automation. What means of automation? Automation is the term where computer can perform any types of tasks it automatically, where only user gives the instruction how to work it, and then computer these works complete in automatically after the process or task is completion. And the next is a diligence. Diligence is a reliability where computer can work many hours in a continuously without any tiredness, and many things which are feel by the human because computer cannot feel any types of tiredness or lack of concentration. It's work continuously after till the completion of a task. This is sufficient for today, and the next topic is in the next video. Thank you, class.
Hello, my dear student. Have a pleasant morning to one you all. I welcome you on your video lecture class. First of all, I just want to inform you something regarding your syllabus and your books. The book is completely changed and the new book is prescribed by UP board. So the book that is prescribed in your syllabus, that is this one behind. This book is prescribed in your syllabus. Many books are also there. So student, today we will discuss the first chapter of this one. The first chapter of this one is this. The book name is Beehive, that is given over here. Beehive, you have to keep it into your mind. And the chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the fun they had. The first chapter is the fun they had. and that is written by Isaac Asimov. That is written by Isaac Asimov. So first we will discuss something about the writer. So he is an American writer and he is also a professor. He is an American writer and professor. And also he was completely based on the scientific field and fiction. So whenever we read the story, whenever we read the essay of this particular writer, so we will find some glimpse of science and fiction. So we can say that he was an imaginary writer. He was believed basically in the imagination that what will happen in coming future. So this story is purposely related to this one. The story is purposely related to this one, and in this story, the writer Isaac Asimov, he is thinking about the future. He is thinking about the future, and in the future, what is he thinking? He is thinking about the schools of the future. About the schools of the future, that what would happen in next coming 100 and 150 years. What will happen? Student, before starting this chapter, before starting this story, I just want to give you some introduction related to this story. That in this story, the writer is thinking about the future 2157. This is the future. This is the year. He is thinking about that. That what will happen then. Today, what are we doing? What are we doing in this era, in this present scenario? What are we doing in the present scenario? We are studying through teachers, physical teacher or mechanical teacher. Fine, and we also have schools and colleges and classes. Each and everything we have. So we are studying. Some students are studying with physical teacher, and some students are studying through mechanical teacher. Mechanical teacher means you can get that the virtual classes, the online classes, we are studying through it also. Fine. But do you think that after 100 or 150 years, it will be there? It will be perished from there. It will be demolished from there. Its existence have been gone from there. So this is the imagination of Isaac Asimov. This is the imagination of the Isaac Asimov. What would happen there when no physical teacher will be there, no physical class will be there, no schools will be there. So what will be happening? So this is the gist of the story. This is the introduction of the story. And there are main four characters are there: Margie, Tommy, and Margie's mother, and county inspector. Four characters are there, you know. So who is Margie? Margie is a girl of the 11 years. She is 11-year-old girl. And Tommy, a boy of 13 years. And Margie's mother and county inspector. A person who repairs mechanical teacher. A person who repairs mechanical teacher. So these are the four characters in the story, in the chapter. These are the four characters, and the whole story revolves around all these characters. These are the central figure. But we can say the central figure are only Margie and Tommy, because in this story there is only conversation between Margie and Tommy. These are two character, Margie and Tommy. Okay, fine. So student, the story we shall read is set in the future. The complete story is the imagination of the future. This is not related to the present scenario. And when books and schools as we have now, then will perhaps not exist. What is Isaac Asimov is saying? He's explaining to us. He's saying to us that, my dear student, we are talking about those days. We are thinking about those days when school books and teachers will not be available there. They will be perished from there. Fine. how will children study there? So this is the imagination into his mind that what will happen when all these things were not there. The diagram will may give you this. This is the book that is given. The thing is that the thought that is into the mind of Isaac Asimov, that learning through computers. So today we are also learning through computers. We are also learning through projector, online classes, many types of the apps we can download and we can study from there. So today we are also studying there, but along with it, we are also have a facility of physical teacher. We also have teachers, we also have schools, we also have classes. But it's our wish what we prefer. Do we want to study with mechanical teacher or we want to study with physical teacher? It's our wish. And virtual classes. The classes will be virtual, like laptop and phones, mobile and computer screen. All things will be there, and we have to study there. Fine. And robotic teacher. At that time, there will not be any physical teacher. At that time, there will not be any physical teacher. There will be robotic teacher and moving a test. And what will be happen there? What will be happen there? Today we have books and notebooks and different types of the things, notes that we type or we write it down by ourselves. Fine. So these are the things will not be there. These are the things will not be there. Okay. So student, this is the gist of the chapter. This is the introduction of the chapter. What through this story, what you want to explain us, what you want to explicit us. Fine. So this is the character. Okay. So let's proceed to our text. What is written? Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. So Margie started writing a note in her diary on the page headed 17 May 2157. Okay, so I have already told you, I have already given the introduction that this is the thing, this is the happening of 2001-57. She had given this date on her diary. She wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book." Tommy found a real book. Tommy is a boy of 13 years, and he is only 2 years older to Margie. They both have friends. Fine. So Tommy found a real book. What is real book? Real book means such type of the book that they had not seen before, and that book is given by grandparents or someone else. Fine. So it was very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was little boy, his grandfather, it was very old book. This was very old book, and Margie's grandfather once said, grandfather made him remind that when he was very little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on the paper. It means to say that Margie's grandfather told him that this book was given by his grandfather, and it was also informed to her that at that time the printed books are available there. And words are written on that book. This is the printed types of the books are there. Fine. They turned the pages. So what happened? She started turning the pages. She started अपने page को पलटना शुरू किया, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen. Crinkly means होता है with many folds or lines. Whenever you turn the pages again and again, either you can say whenever the books were very old, so आपके जो पेज होते हैं वो थोड़ा सिकुड़ जाते हैं because of turning many times. Fine. So This was yellow, and why was the pages? Why were the pages yellow? Because it was very old. It was very old. That's why pages were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny. It was awfully means horrible. It was funny to read words that stood still instead of moving. Actually, Margie don't know that she had always seen that words are moving. Words are moving on the screen because she had a habit of studying through computers. Fine. So on the computer screen you will find words only at the moving way. But it's not with the printed books. On the printed books she found the letter still. She found the letter still on the same way. Fine. Read words to be still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on the screen, because she was thinking, it was the idea into her mind that why the words are not moving, why the words are not moving, why the words are not running. The words are still now. So, and then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same word on it that it had when they read it the first time. So, and when he turned the back of the page, when she turned the back of the page, she found that when she turned the back of the page, she found that the same words were written over there. The same words were written over there. There was no changement in the words, there were no changement in the meaning and the vocabulary. All things were same. All things were same in that book. Fine. So what happened? So in the next paragraph, said Tommy, "What a waste! When you are through with the book, you just throw it away," said Tommy. Now this is the statement of Tommy. This is the statement of Tommy. What he said? What a waste! It's a wasteful thing. It's a wastage of the time. When you are through with the book, when you are through with the book, means when you go through with the book, when you read this book, you just throw it away. You just throw it away, because I guess our television screen must have had a million books on it, and it's good for plenty more. It means in this book, I am not able to find sufficient matter, ample of matter for reading, for getting anything else. So I'll throw it. It's a wastage for me. I would not throw it away. Same with mine, said Margie. She was 11 and had not seen as many daily books as Tommy had. He was 13. But Tommy was saying that I'll throw this book, but Margie was saying I'll not throw it, because Margie was 11 years and he was 13 years. So it means there is a 2 years gap. So Tommy had seen more television screen, more videos, more video lectures. So that's why this is the statement of the Tommy. Fine. So this is the conversation. This is the conversation between Margie and Tommy, and the story will continue for tomorrow. That is enough for you today. I think you are enjoying this story. It's a very interesting story. Thank you, students. Have a nice day to anyone.